Hello everyone, I'm presenting my Week 9 discussion on single subject design in social work practice. Some ways to monitor abstinence from substance use addiction are through urinary analysis, but for gambling addiction, reduction and abstinence are monitored through a self-report. Review of personal finances or self-report or collateral contacts, reporting if the client has asked for or borrowed money. In the proposed scenario, the client is a 29-year-old white male who has been referred to a behavioral clinic. The client is legally single. He has no children. He has a college education and works in operations management for a large retailer. No substance use disorder has been detected. The target problem or presenting concern is the client has spent $800 to $1,200 per month over the past 18 months on sports betting. People in his close social circle have started to express concerns because he asked them for money and he has not repaid it. His girlfriend has given him an ultimatum to stop gambling or she will break up with him. His father asked him to prove that he doesn't have a gambling addiction by calling a gambling addiction hotline that referred him to this behavioral clinic. The client believes he doesn't have a problem because he can make the money back in about 6 months if he works overtime and stopped gambling, but he hasn't made attempts to start this plan. The single subject design used to assess the treatment will be an A-B design. In the baseline phase, Ray Liu and Oi, 2004, developed the Gambling-Related Cognition Scale, GRS, to assess if cognitions match those of a person with problem gambling behaviors. The GRS has a high reliability and validity, but it's also recommended to use it with other assessments to check for psychological symptoms and changes in emotional and social support. The Gambling-Related Cognition Scale is a 23-item questionnaire on a 7-point Likert scale that measures the beliefs and thoughts often associated with problem gambling. It assesses the cognitions of people who have problem gambling behaviors. It is important because people usually hold beliefs that encourage their gambling habits. People who do not have a gambling problem usually do not have much enjoyment from gambling, or they do not have the same thought processes that will urge them or give them cravings to want to gamble. In the intervention phases, cue exposure therapy, CET, and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, will be used. This will consist of 10 weekly 60-minute sessions modeled after the case study conducted by Riley et al. 2021 on the efficacy of CET. CET consists of graded exposure to stimuli that triggers thoughts leading to behaviors the client would like to change, while using newly learned thought processes, coping mechanisms, and management tools from CBT. The client learns to prevent slips and relapses after building mechanisms to prevent them. Data from another GRS assessment will be collected after 10 sessions. Progress will be checked by the clinician and the client by keeping a log of financial transactions, frequency of use in sports betting applications or websites, the frequency in which the client tries to use the sports betting app, and the client will also keep a diary of thoughts when they encounter situations involving watching sports, which will be the cravings and urges. The change I would hope to observe is a significant reduction or abstinence on money spent on sports betting apps and a reduction in net losses, which will lead to an increase in savings from working. and a reduction in urges and cravings. Another client goal is to watch sports only for enjoyment and not for possible monetary gains. CET and CBT fits the client because their social lives involves watching sports in various places, such as friends' houses, bars, and actual games, and they would like to try to keep going to those social places with their friends. I selected this approach because rather than another design because I would like the client to begin treatment and continue treatment immediately before it affects their emotional and social supports further, such as their girlfriend that will probably try to break up with them. Or it starts another psychological problem, such as anxiety or depression, which the client does not have yet because they believe that they could fix their behaviors on their own right now, but they haven't done that yet. I would like to monitor for change, and the client is approaching financial risk and social disruption if he returns to baseline behaviors. HCM, no date. The assessment will help the clinician understand what cognitions are motivating the client to gamble. Those cognitions will include active illusionary control, which uses superstitious behaviors such as having special charms or using special plays or handshakes or movements. Passive illusionary control, which means that there is some control over luck, such as if something good or auspicious happens, it will be related to their succession gambling later on. Probability errors, such as not understanding the probability of statistics used by sports books companies, and interpretive biases, which that change losses to positive outcomes that will eventually lead to wins. Ray Liu and Oi, 2004. These are all cognitions that will be worked on through CBT. Thank you for listening to my presentation.